You're able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here. So this is the profile. I'm going to the profile option and I'm taking the important thing, the system administrator. I also want to understand how tight are you guys? It's only 1 hour. Can we make it up to 10:30? Are you guys okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you people join late and people come very late and all that stuff. So we are losing time there. Okay, I will try to finish as early as possible, but it might go up to like 10:30 or so. Let's see. Okay, when you log in, you go to the setup and then the home page and then the profile. In the profile, you click on it, you get different profiles which you see here, and the profile that automatically the org comes with is the system administrator. There are a couple of other profiles that come, but system administrator is one of the key things. Here, when you take the system administrator, you cannot delete this profile. That's one of the major differences. If you delete it, then there is no way that anybody can get into this. So it does not allow you to delete the profile. So if you take a look at it, this is the laundry list of profiles. What are all the options that it has? And the top one is the page layout, right? So it controls the page layout, what you can see, what you cannot see. Profile controls the page layout. I'm just going to touch upon some of these things. It controls the page layouts of the standard page layouts as well as the custom page layouts, right? And it controls the field level security. What is the field level security? For example, on a page, if there are multiple fields, which is nothing but you have the objects and then you have the fields, which field is visible, which field is not visible on the page for that profile is controlled by the profile. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's not like custom app settings. We'll talk about this one. Like if you have app exchange products, you have done that one, it will do the custom app settings. Let's not worry about many of the, some of these things, connected app and all that stuff. Important thing is tab setting. So what are the tabs that you can see for an application is controlled by the profile. There are 3 options that you get in tab settings. One is called the default on. That means as soon as you log in, by default, that tab will be available. Then the other one is called default off. That means the tab will not be available. Even though you will have an access, it will not be immediately visible. Not available means visible. When you log in, tab hidden means the tab will not be available. It will be hidden. Even though you will have an access, but the tab will not be visible at all. We will see how it works. Okay. Now, this is the tab setting. So it controls the tab settings. And then we will have some other features, record type. We'll talk about it later. I'm just scrolling. Look at it, how big it is. Okay. Now there are so many administrative permissions. You can keep going and looking at all these things. General user permissions and all. Important thing is here, the standard object. So it controls the object level access. What does it mean? Whether you can be able to, it is at the object level. You have to define it very clearly, object level. Objects contain not only the object level access, but also the record level access, but this controls the object level access. What is the object level? Like it controls whether you can be able to read that object, whether you can be able to create the records in that object. If this permission is not there, create is not there, even if you have your records, we will see that if you have to create the record or you have access through the record level, but still you cannot be able to do. So you have to have object level access. I will give you a basic example. think like this. An object is like a house, and records are more like your rooms within the house. If you do not have the key to enter the house, even if you have, somebody has given the key for you to enter the room, you cannot be able to enter the room because you cannot enter the house itself. Does it make sense, guys? Rude analogy, but that is simplest example that I can think of. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So object level is more like a house key, and then the record level is more like a room key. What you can do, what you cannot do, and all. We will see that. So this is at the house level. Whether you can be able to read the house, that means whether you can see, whether you can create another room, whether you can be able to edit the room that what you have, whether you can be able to delete the room. I'm just giving you, right? Whether you can be able to delete the record. So view all and modify all, as I said, is not given normally to everybody. Actually, you should not give it, because this will override everything that whatever you have given. Correct? So be cautious when you are giving. So it controls the standard object permissions, and also it controls the custom object permission. Okay. So this is important thing and then I'm scrolling down. If you take a look at it, it will have a Apex class access, which means when you customize it, what are the Visualforce pages that you can see, and that's about it. Category of the group, visibility, and training FAQ, and all that stuff. Okay. So please go through this profile thing, very, very important, and understand, especially the ones I'm scrolling back and forth. It's going to be very difficult to read it when you go through the video. Page layouts, tab settings, apps, and then the object level. Very important to understand. Okay. Now, let's take an example, and let's do this one with an example so that you understand this one better. Okay. I'm opening the sales app. Oh my. Okay. So if you take a look at it, we created an object called Techila trainings. So once I go there, I'm able to see the Techila trainings. I have logged in as system administrator. Okay, I'm able to see this, and I will go to the custom profile. So today we are going to be going slow, but we will try to understand as much as possible. Okay, so I'm going to use another user called demo manager, right? I can have two users active, and this is the second user, demo manager, and who belongs to the Western sales team. I am going to log in another browser. Okay, so that we'll play with it. And if you have any questions, please stop me. So I'm logging in as, this is the user ID and the password for the demo manager. I log in. So once I log in, and just to show you that I am there as the demo manager, this is not a system administrator. This is a custom sales profile. Okay, please follow with me so that you understand this. Okay, when demo manager, this one, I click on this. See here, you can see edit, sharing, login, freeze. These are all the different options that what you get. Reset password and all. This is the user detail. I don't want the user detail. I want to go to the profile. So what is the profile? The profile is custom sales profile. So I'm going to go to the custom sales profile. Right? So you can see the difference. The option that what you have is delete option is available, which was not available in system admin. You click on new users, it will tell you who is the user. Demo manager is the user. Okay. I come back. Now I'm going to edit it. Techila trainings is my tab that what I'm seeing. I'm searching on Techila trainings. This is default is on for the profile, which is custom sales profile. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me go through this. So Techila trainings is default is on. That is why we are able to see the tab Techila trainings here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sales profile. I'm going to make it off. Let's see what happens. So I'm saving this profile. That is the custom sales profiles, which is the demo manager. I come to the demo manager. I refresh it. Now, if you take a look at it, the demo Techila trainings is gone. Default off means the tab will not be immediately available for you on the list. But if you want to really go and because default is off, if you want to go and see, you can still type in Techila. You can come back to the same page as what you had come back by going to the app launcher and giving Techila training. Does it make sense, guys?
Sure.
So did you understand what is default on and default off?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is on the same profile, custom sales profile, edit it. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to make tab hidden. Now let's see what happens. I saved it. I'm coming back to this page. I'm refreshing it. Okay. So it is not available. I am coming here. If you type now Techila trainings, it will not come because tab is hidden. Does it make sense, guys? Okay. So tab on, default on means it is automatically available. Off means not available, but you can come from the app launcher. Hidden means it's not available at all, like even from the app launcher. Okay. That is how the tab settings work. Okay. Now let me go back and let me take a look at it. And then again, I will do the tab on, default on, and I'm going to save it. I'll come back to my page here, demo manager, because that's the profile that I'm playing with. Okay. I will refresh this. Okay. Now Techila trainings is available. I will try to click on new. And let's try to create third batch. And let's save it. Okay, so it created demo manager, this thing. let's go to the basic access. Basic access Techila trainings is not there. How is it creating? Okay, how is it creating? Okay, I made a mistake here. Let me permission sets. Yeah, we'll talk about this. I'll come and explain to you this one later. Give me I'm there on permission sets, right? We'll talk about permission sets later. I'm going to the object settings. We'll talk about it now. In a while, we will play with it. And where is the edit? Yeah, Techila trainings. Just bear with me, and I will explain to you. Okay. So till now, whatever you have seen with the permission sets, don't worry about it. So we'll go to the profile. We will see the profile, and we are talking about custom sales profiles. And when you come to the custom sales profile and take a look at it, for the object Techila trainings, this is the custom object permissions. I do not have either read, create, nothing is available. Okay. So I go back to my screen here. Okay. And I will refresh this. I will try to see whether Techila trainings is available. Techila trainings, the tab itself will not be available. The reason that the tab is not available is because you do not have access to the object. No permission is given to the object. That is the reason why it does not show the tab. Does it make sense, guys? Are you able to understand? If you don't
Yes,
understand,
sir.
if you don't understand, please ask me. I don't want to hear only one person saying. I want everybody to say that yes, they have understood.
Yes, sir.
Right? Since you do not have access to the object itself, then the tab will not be available. Somebody wants to ask a question? So let me go and give the access now. And let me save this. And you come back here. So no, you go back to the demo manager. You got to be careful where you are going. This is the demo manager, and you refresh it. And you can see that Techila trainings has already come. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how the profile works. Profile works not only the tab settings, but also you need to have the object level permission, at least one of them, for you to see the tab. Otherwise, the tab itself will not be visible. Does it make sense? Okay. Now, yeah, question please. Any question? Okay. Now, profile, defines at the object level, and then the role defines at the record level. What is the role? How is the role? Role permissions, role access is called, the first and the foremost thing is called, you go to the sharing settings. You go to the sharing settings, and this is called the OWD. You have to remember this. This is called organization-wide defaults. So all the objects that whatever you have, they will all be listed here, and their record level access is established through the default internal access. There are two types of accesses. One is called the internal access and the other one is called the external. Let's not worry about the external. We'll worry only about the internal. Internal access is nothing but the users who can be able to log into this org. Default internal access, and it is controlled through these access level values that are given. Once you edit it, you will see there are multiple values that are given. So let's take our Techila example itself. You see that Techila training new, that is the object. It is a public read and write. What is a public read and write? I told you that there is one field called the owner. So record level access is controlled through the owner. Who is the owner? When you say public read and write, that means all the users in the system, they will be able to read and write that record, irrespective of who the owner is. Does it make sense, guys? For example, in our example, if Nidhi is the owner and Techila training new is the public read and write, Shyam will also be able to read, write. He will have the full access. Now, if you change it to private, Nidhi, because she is the owner, she has created the record. Whomsoever has created the record will be the owner for the first time. So that Nidhi is the owner. Only Nidhi will be able to do all the actions, such as she can be able to read the record, she can be able to write the record, but whereas Shyam will not be able to read and write. Does it make sense, guys? Are
Yes,
you
sir.
Yes,
confused?
sir.
Are you confused? Now, public read only, that means this is the third option. Public read only. This means that Nidhi is the owner. She can do all the actions, provided she has, of course, we are assuming at the object level she has the access, but at the record level, public read only means all the other people will be able to read the record. All the other people in the system will be able to read the record. So you have to remember these three things very clearly. Public read and write means they can do all actions when they at the record level, but if they belong to different profiles and the profile itself does not have access to the object, then they cannot do. Just like this OWD is more like a room. You might have a room key, but if you do not have the house key, you cannot do whatever you want to do. Does it make sense? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
very important thing. And we'll talk about control by parent later. These are the three things that you have to remember. OWD is nothing but organization-wide defaults, which controls the record level access. The role that what you define is controlled to role basically controls the record level access. That is through OWD. Does it make sense? Okay. Now let's play with this. Training, Techila training new. I made it as public. It was previously public read and write only. I'm going to make it as private. Okay. Now I'm going to save it. Okay. It will take some time. It will show that it is recalculating or something like that. It will do. In the meantime, let's go to our Techila trainings records. You take a look at the first record, first batch record. And who is the owner? Magalam Suresh is the owner. Okay. Now, this is, I am there in, logged in as the Magalam Suresh as the system administrator. Now I go to the demo manager. At this point of time, I'm able to see first record and third record. And let's take all the records. If you take all the records, you are seeing only the third batch. You are not seeing the first batch and the second batch. Do you know what is the reason? The reason being, you just now changed your sharing settings from public to private. So that means if you remember, the first batch record and the second batch record is owned by Magalam Suresh, whereas the third batch record is owned by demo manager, right? When you come to the system administrator will always be able to see all the records. Okay, this is the reason I will put all and pin it. He will be able to see all the records, but whereas the demo manager, because it is private only, will be able to see his own records, but he will not be able to see the other records. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, if I go back and change again the sharing settings from private to public read only, see what difference it makes. Now I made it. It is recalculating it. And I'll come back here. I will so now if you take a look at it, as the demo manager, I'm able to see all the three records because I made it as public read only. Right? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Right? Because I made it public read only. Now, what does it mean? If I go back here, I click on the first batch record and I try to edit it. It will allow me to edit. Means it will allow me to come to the screen. I change the value of first batch one. Look at it. Oops, you don't have necessary privileges to edit the curve. See your, it gives an error. Because it is only read only. It is public read only. Does it make sense? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Right? But whereas, now you answer me, whereas I come to this record, I edit it, I change this one to third batch one and save it, it saved. Why did it allow?
This is the one is the demo manager.
What is that?
Is the same is in this profile we have created in demo manager. We can edit our own profile.
No. Your answer is a little bit this thing. Because he is the owner of the record, he can be able to, he is the owner. And I am logged in as a demo manager here. Right? That is the reason why he is able to update this. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes. No, slowly you are telling yes. That means you have not understood or you have a question.
So can you repeat it once?
Which one? Which one you want me to repeat? Everything?
Like why we were able to change this owner field, like edit that field? I didn't understand that part.
See, who is the owner of this record? Demo manager.
Demo manager.
Okay. And what is the sharing settings that we have? It is a public read only. So whenever you are the owner of the record, you can be able to do anything on this record, right? So that is why you are able to do. I can change it back to the third batch one again, and I save it. It changes it back because I am the owner of the record. But when you go to the first and the second, who is the owner of the record? Magalam Suresh. My sharing setting says public read only. That means I can only read the record, but I cannot edit the record. And once I click on edit and try to change it and save it, it gives an error saying that you cannot change it because you don't have the permissions. It will be the same thing on the second batch record also. Right? Now, I want you to answer this question. Now, it's all the public read, and we know that the third batch, the owner is the demo manager, but I am there as the Magalam Suresh, which is a different one, and I edit it and I save it. It saves. Why is it allowing me?
Probably because this profile has permissions for editing demo manager records also.
No, please think through. No, what does it mean? Where is it there? You cannot simply assume something is there. Where is it there? Where is it there? You are right in a way, but where is it there?
Record level?
No. Please understand this. What is Magalam Suresh? As a profile, to which profile does he belong to?
System administrator.
System administrator, right? Correct. Thank you. So he belongs to the system administrator. You go to the system administrator, and then you go to the Techila trainings. There are 15 of them. We don't have to worry. Now, if you take a look at it on the Techila trainings, if you take a look at it on the Techila trainings, this is a system administrator. Because he is the system administrator, he has the permission view all and modify all. That means on all the objects, the system administrator will have view all and modify all. So it will override your sharing settings and it will allow you to edit the records because he is a system administrator. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Any questions? Okay. Now, we just touched upon the profile and then we touched upon the role. So let us say there is another concept that has been introduced, which is called the permission set. What is the permission set? A permission set, first of all, you have to understand, even before we go to the permission set, on the role and the profile, you always give the minimum most access at the profile level or at the role level. What does it mean? If Nidhi and Shyam are there, if Nidhi, the way that what we want to do is, if Nidhi creates a record, we do not want Shyam or others to take a look at the records. Say, for example, Nidhi, Shyam, and Manu. Let's take 3 people. So that will be a good example. Nidhi creates the record. Nidhi says, Shyam and I belong to the same record, same group. Shyam should be able to see all my records, but I do not want Manu to see the records. Right? How will you do? You will, so you have to give permission to Shyam to see Nidhi's records, but whereas Manu should not get the access to see the records. That is achieved through role hierarchy. There is something called sharing settings. On the top of that, there is something called role hierarchy. The way if Shyam is at a higher level and Nidhi reports into Shyam, automatically Shyam will be able to see all the records of Nidhi, even if she has made it as private only. Does it make sense, guys? This becomes a little bit more complex to think. Are you able to get it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. This can be changed the admin needs, right? Admin only can change the users access from other different 2, 3 different Nikita, Nidhi or
Correct.
Shams.
Correct. No, not admin. I will show it to you. I will give an example. I will come to that. But remember that through role hierarchy, the person who is sitting on the top of the other person will be able to see the records. And depending upon, of course, the object level permissions that he has and all that stuff, will be able to manage the records. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Now, similarly, Nidhi and Shyam and Manu, they all belong to the same profile. But what happens is, the system wants, or let's say Nidhi and Shyam, they belong to the same group, which we have spoken about. And the business rule says Shyam should not have access to delete any of the training new records. Should not have. At the object level, he should not be able to delete. He can be able to read, he can be able to create, he can be able to edit, but he cannot delete. Right? That is, so this one should not be there for this one. Right? So how do we do that? But they all belong to the same profile. We do not want to create multiple profile, whereas Nidhi should have all the permissions. How do we do that? We extend the privileges of the profile by creating a permission set. Does it make sense, guys? Are you getting it or not? I'll show it to you through an example that is much better. Okay. So if you guys want me to repeat it, I will repeat it again. Let's take the custom sales profile. Because I have only 2 users, it becomes very difficult to show example. Let's say this custom sales profile. Custom sales profile, I'll edit it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out all the permissions, right, on the custom sales profile, and I'm going to save it. And I come to the demo manager. Now, if you take a look at it, demo manager, now you don't have an access because I have taken out the all the permissions on that object. Does it make sense? Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right? Now, but think that there are two users, or I want to extend. How do I say this? Now the demo manager, the demo manager does not have access to the object, correct? But I want to give the access. It's a